What's up, beautiful besties? Welcome into the Divine Feminist by Turning Tides Tarot, where we get empowering messages for our beautiful collective. My name is Alicia, if I didn't already say that. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I'm switching up the decks today. I sometimes get really called to certain decks, and this one is the Morgan Greer Tarot, if you are interested in it. Or no, yeah, it is the Morgan Greer Tarot. Anyways, I'm sending you lots of love today. I'm just going to go ahead and pull a spread and see what Spirit wants us to know. It's a very open reading. I'm going to pull out the energy, connect to it, of course, and then we will get the message out for you, my loves. If you want to connect to this energy here, feel free to go ahead and hit the like button, if you want to offer up some energy exchange, my darlings. I always appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Oh, you know what? We are getting so close to that 1,000 subscriber milestone, and I want to do a little giveaway. So let me go ahead and pull this, and then I'm going to show you what I would like to give away. It is something that I have created myself, and I feel like I'm going to give away three packs to 3 lucky subscribers. In order to enter, I'll show you in a second what it is. Okay. To 3 lucky subscribers, okay, all you have to do to enter is subscribe here to the Divine Feminist. We're trying to get that 1,000 subscriber milestone, okay? And I will mail you this package. You just have to let me know where in the world you are watching. That's all. Just leave a comment and let me know where. I will send it anywhere in the entire world. It doesn't matter because it fits in a snail mail envelope. But let me just get it and I'll show you. Okay, so before we get into the reading, because I forgot, I wanted to do this. I wanted to show you, I'm giving away 3 packs of my instant oracle cards. There is nothing else like it on the planet. As far as I know, I did create these. And each package contains 4 of these instant oracles, which what they are is just a lot of fun, okay? It doesn't look, it says messages from the universe, right? Instant oracle, but what it is, it's a oracle scratch off, okay? So you think of your question, you tune in, you pick a card. It is all random. No 2 cards are the same as well in these packages. And you think of the question that you want, and then boom, you can either peel this, or if you like scratching, you can scratch it, and it reveals your message, okay? And then you can think of a yes or no question and get a little bonus yes or no or maybe or whatever, right? From this as well. So it is super fun, and this is something that I can send anywhere in the world with just a stamp in an envelope, okay? The reason why I was thinking about giving away one of my decks, but I only have a couple of them left, and I don't know what's going on with that tariff and stuff going on from Canada to the US. So anyways, we're going to do the ones that can fit in the mail. So let me know where in the world you're watching and hit that subscribe button. And once we hit that 1,000 members, I will be picking names and I'll send out the prizes. Yay! So exciting. But let's get into the reading. Okay, so getting into the actual reading, we're starting off here in this spread with the Knight of Cups kind of overlooking everything right now. It's the overall vibe, right? And this is really, I feel like it's your soul's kind of messenger that is bringing this invitation into you. It's an emotional opportunity or offer, or it could be some kind of calling here that is, wrapped in passion and a lot of hard energy. Okay, so think of this like when you get that unexpected text from someone that like really sparks your curiosity, or it could be like a sudden gut feeling that tells you, just take a leap of faith in love, okay, in creativity, even in your career, actually, okay? But it's really all about moving forward with your heart leading the way, and no hesitation. So in the first row here of our little spread, we have the 2 of Wands, we have the Page of Cups, Strength, and the World, as you can see. And the 2 of Wands is kicking us off, okay? And it is this, it's really all about a powerful moment of choice, and also like vision as well, okay? So this energy, it's literally, it's It's literally you standing at the edge of your own world, okay, looking out and deciding what path you want to take next, okay? So maybe you are planning a trip or a big move, or maybe you want to pivot in your career, okay? But on a deeper level too, this is your mindset shifting, okay? You're weighing out options right now, wondering like, do I stay where I'm comfortable, or should I step out and explore something new? Right? It's classic energy of standing like at a crossroads and feeling excited, but also a little bit nervous. Okay. It does usually, if I were to give this a one sentence interpretation for the Two of Wands, it's always, should I stay or should I go? You know, should I stay or should I go? So, you know, maybe you're thinking about starting a new side project or moving cities, or even just telling the truth somewhere that you may have been holding back. Okay. The Two of Wands says that, you know, the world is literally at your fingertips. Okay. But you have to make the call to step up and claim it. Okay. And wands are all about action. So it's you deciding whether or not you're going to take action. Okay, and where you're headed too. So next we have the Page of Cups, which is, you know, basically the universe sitting there whispering to you, saying things like, you know, don't forget to be open and curious. You know, it is a very tender and playful, a little bit flirty energy. Okay, kind of like there's a little, maybe an artist inside you who still believes in magic and fairy tales. Okay, the pages are messengers. Okay, but the Page of Cups is a messenger of like fresh feelings and new creative ideas. All right, so like when you know, it's, you know what it really gives is when you get that first spark of inspiration. Okay, if you suddenly maybe you want to write a poem or paint a picture or open your heart to someone new without any baggage. Okay, this vibe is really about allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to kind of step outside of your comfort zone and be super curious, and definitely soft. It is soft energy. So it is, you know, it's saying yes to wonder and joy, and, you know, being present. You know, even if you've always been told to stay grounded and be realistic, this is like being the dreamer. Okay, it's dreamer energy. And then we have strength. Okay, so I love strength. It's like your inner lioness, okay, showing up, right? Not like a big roar to scare someone kind of strength. It's more about like the calm and the patient, fierce kind of strength. So it's about you really taming this inner chaos, okay, or showing up with compassion towards yourself, towards others, and really mastering any of your own fears and doubts, okay? Often I will say strength comes after the devil, and the lion to me represents the devil energy, where we're trying to quietly subdue this part of ourselves that invites in a little bit of chaos, maybe, and tempts us to, you know, I don't know, I just heard wolf out. Rage out, wolf out, you know, kind of like crash out or whatever, or indulge in things that we know aren't good for us. So we always see strength when the devil was around at some point, but it does take strength in order to conquer the devil and any kind of temptations, or, you know, toxicity and cycles and things we know that aren't good for us. So I can see that you've already done a lot of that here with the strength energy. So I feel like, you know, if you have been dealing with a really tough situation, maybe you've been setting boundaries with a toxic friend, or, you know, you finally quit a job that really drained you. You know, instead of reacting with anger or frustration, you really are approaching it with grace, a little bit of resilience, and more quiet power. Okay, so strength lets you know that your true power is in your self-control, okay, and that gentle courage. Okay, so really embodying that right now, and finishing off the top row here with the World. I mean, this is huge. This energy really signals like a completion and success, and also the beginning of a new cycle. You know, the World's also attached to the Fool. We always have the big wreath here, or a zero, right? Which is the Fool. It's the new beginning. The ending is the new beginning here. And so, it's kind of like crossing the finish line of a marathon or something, and really realizing that you're ready for the next challenge. Okay, it's a graduation. The world really celebrates your achievements, and it confirms that the universe can see your growth, and you're being acknowledged for that growth. So in the real world, this could mean, you're wrapping up a major, I don't want to say chapter, I want to say story, because it is that big. It is like graduating, right? It's finishing a huge project, or healing after a relationship. It's saying that it's time to really step into that next phase with confidence. Okay. The world, it really tells you that the journey was worth it, and you're exactly where you're meant to be, and you've learned what you needed to learn. So again, it's like a completion. Now, going to this bottom row here with justice, and I just love justice. And yeah, it does speak to accountability and balance, but really it's like, I think of it as the cosmic scales finally tipping in your favor, right? Or maybe it's a moment where you get this clarity on what's fair and what's not. Okay. But justice is also about truth, getting real with yourself and others about what's working, what's not, what's toxic, things like that. Now, I also like to say with justice, whenever it shows up, it does tell me that there was something that was highly unfair that had happened recently, and it wasn't your fault, or you didn't deserve it. Okay, you didn't do anything to deserve the unfair treatment or an unfair settlement in some way. And this is the universe coming in with this cosmic gift to be like, yo, we saw what happened and that wasn't cool, but here, take this blessing to balance out the scales. The universe is always having to balance out the energy, right? What goes up must come down, that kind of a thing, right? So you could be dealing with a legal matter, maybe for some of you, but more often than not, it is about moral and karmic balance. Okay. If you are, before I continue, if you are dealing with a legal matter and justice shows up, this is a judgment in your favor. Okay. Side note. But I'm not here giving legal advice. It's not my job. And I am not liable for any kind of thing like that. Disclaimer. Okay. Thank you. So it could also be, going back to moral and karmic balance. It could also be like, when you finally confront someone who's been shady, or when you start owning your own role, perhaps in past mistakes, right? Justice will show up asking, are you ready to claim your power by telling the truth, even if it's uncomfortable? And the universe absolutely loves when you keep it real. Okay, so this could even be you keeping yourself in check. It could be, right? Now, next up, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and this is, it's patience energy, but it also does embody a little bit of frustration. Okay. I'll just be real. Because you plant all these seeds, right? Maybe it's a new business, a relationship, any kind of new habit. And you're kind of waiting for these investments to pay off, right? To bloom. The Seven of Pentacles is this classic, like, waiting room kind of energy. So where you kind of step back and review your progress, and you're kind of feeling stuck, and that's where the frustration comes up, is like, when is it ever going to be my turn? All right, don't worry, we've got movement. It's not going to be stuck for very long, or feeling stuck. So this is kind of like, trying to sit there and watch a plant grow, wondering if it's ever going to bloom. Am I ever going to see a flower? Am I ever going to get a fruit, or a vegetable, whatever, right? It just kind of reminds you that some growth takes time. So the waiting can feel frustrating. Yeah, but it is necessary for any kind of real success. Okay. So it is also a little bit of a moment where you could take some time to reassess, and make sure that you are investing or watering the right plants, right? Because it's not going to grow if you don't water it. Okay, let's just make sure. It could be a moment to make sure that you are doing what you need to be doing. Okay. And then here, this is where I feel like this is great, because judgment comes up next, and that's like a spiritual wake-up call. Okay. And judgment's all about rebirth and reckoning, rising from your own ashes. Really, it's an energy of awakening, where You look back on your past and you're like, I am done with that version of me. I'm done with that person. I'm done with that situation. I'm done with it all. Like, you really do move forward and you don't look back. And what's interesting is because you have learned so much about yourself, who you are, what you're about, what you want, what you don't want, all of the things throughout this whole entire journey thus far. You can see it's number 20, and then the world is 21. Next step, that's the graduation. So it's like you're moving ahead, right? There's this progression here that it's like you are at the end of this experience, or you're at the end of you're not ever going back to where you were. Okay, even if it is a version of you, right? You've outgrown a version of yourself. You've outgrown certain friends. You've outgrown a certain workplace or career, or place you live, home. It could be any and all of the above with this kind of major arcana energy, right? So it is also about like this moment where you can finally forgive yourself or even someone else, okay? And really let go of any kind of old guilt or regret, that has been weighing you down. It is a lightening of the energy, and it really encourages you to raise your vibration and go higher and higher and answer your soul's call and embrace major transformations in your life. Okay, so it is a feeling like, you hear a song that hits you really deep and suddenly everything shifts. Like, you can't go back to the old you. Like, you just can't. So rounding out the bottom here, temperance, it's the ultimate alchemy energy. And temperance is all about blending opposites, like mixing your ambition with self-care, or your passion with calm and reflection, right? It's about finding your flow and creating harmony. It's also about, for me as a reader, turning painful situations and using that energy and pouring it into something positive, creative, and constructive for yourself. So using your pain as mission fuel, really pushing you forward. Okay. And it's really a beautiful vibe, right? And in the real world, this is when you learn to balance, maybe work life, okay, or your emotional highs with grounded logic, okay? So it's kind of like a perfect cocktail, not too much of one ingredient that will ruin the taste, right? But it's like this right mix of magic. The right mix is the magic, okay? And so temperance is here saying just to trust your own timing, and keep integrating all of these parts of yourself as you move forward here. Okay, so in the bigger picture, what would this mean for you right now? Okay, I feel like, again, I'm just doing a little recap because you're standing at a crossroads, and the universe is offering you this fresh invitation to really open your heart and to step into your own fierce power, right? You're wrapping up a really big story in your life, and I feel like you are ready to embrace a new cycle here. And so this energy is really here to remind you to be honest, to hold yourself accountable as well, while being patient with your process, okay, your growth process. And you are called to awaken spiritually, or even just your vibration is raising. You're raising your vibration right now, and you're transforming any old patterns. And you're finding balance in this maybe chaos. I like to say the word chaos because it's accurate when there's lots up in the air and things going on all over the place in the world we live in right now. Chaos. But you're doing it with this flowy kind of energy and grace. You're doing it very gracefully. Okay, it's like performing the balancing act of a lifetime right now. So you could be in the spot where you're thinking about leaving a relationship or a job that doesn't serve you. If you feel stuck, this spread would say, like, listen, trust your own inner guidance, weigh your options carefully, and stay open to new experiences, right? Like, because you have the inner strength to face whatever comes with courage, and the universe is really ready to reward you with a new beginning here. Okay, so it's really time to get real about what's fair for you, to you, you know, and no more settling for less, right? It's really here reminding you that this healing and success takes time. So you don't really gotta rush the process or lose faith in your efforts, because you're being invited to shed all the old guilt and doubts, and really step into your rebirth moment here, and you will find a way to balance your passion, and be patient with yourself, and really create the best version of your life right now. So it's you know, it's really beautiful. I mean, I feel like that's pretty much the reading here. I do want to, I mean, let me know in the comments if you feel like you needed to hear this today. It's more a message of encouragement that's coming from the universe today, especially for those of you who may have resonated with the last two readings. I know they were a little bit more on the heavy side. And I know that they wouldn't have been for everyone too. So this is more like a check-in for everyone else. Perhaps, you know, I guess midweek here to see what you need to know. All right. Because I feel like the last two readings were, like I said, a little heavy and a little bit specific, you know, maybe only for a handful of people. What we have, okay, the universe has my back. I'm going to take 3 of these messages here, and hopefully at least one of them resonates for you. Okay, it says, when I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. Beautiful. I choose love no matter what. And through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. Beautiful. And then under the deck, I can't ignore this because it's such a beautiful message. Joy is the ultimate creator. And that is the space from which, you know, our soul and spirit, the universe, you know, they want us to create from that place of joy, right? And then, you know, if we are, you know, mastering inner peace as well, and calm strength, that also ripples out, you know, into the world. And so you are a freaking beacon, my besties. All right, stay out there, shine your light bright, and keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track, especially if this message found you today. You were meant to hear it, and you're doing what it takes to move on, move forward, glow up, and all the things. So keep glowing out there, keep growing out there, and I'm sending you all my love. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to tell me where you are in the world so that you can be entered into that 1,000 subscriber giveaways. But we got to get there first, okay? Not going to happen till we actually hit the milestone, okay? And then I'll get in touch with you, okay? And then we'll get your address for mailing. We won't do that on YouTube. It'll be private. Okay, so sending lots of love. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.